Shalom Israel, giving up praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, Ba'ashua, Chakadash, double honors to the elders, Shane Master, well, salutations to you, Ashima, the Christian spirit, truth, sincerity, risking your freedom, and your life to do so. Okay, this is a quick story about, this is, as you see in the title, from UStoday.com. The entire world will need to be on high alert. Iran general's death stirs fear of world-wide fallout. And what does he mean by fallout? Nuclear fallout. Okay, World War III. Let me get a quick scripture real quick. Let me see. Hold on. It's Revelations 11 verse 14. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Now, what does it mean when the scriptures say woe? Woe means destruction, okay, or mass death. So the second destruction has passed, which is World War II. And behold, the third woe cometh quickly, meaning right after it, the third woe, okay, which is Third World War. Okay, and this is exactly what we're ramping up to. So because they killed the general, like the article is going to get into. So we're going to read a little bit. We're going to get the scriptures. It says, Washington, the killing of a powerful Iranian military leader, Qasem Salami, prompted fears of violence and chaos across the Middle East as national security experts warned it could galvanize Iran's proxy forces against the United States and put a target on Americans across the globe. Right? Because not only did that spark Iran, but that caused all nations to see the atrocity of what just happened, you see? Like the scripture is about to get into. Let me get the Jeremiah 49, 20. Therefore hear the counsel of the Lord that he have taken against Edom and his purposes that he have proposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock should draw him out. Right. So what does it mean that he had proposed against the inhabitants of Teman? Teman was a way of saying Edom or Esau. Okay. Teman is the so-called white race or the red people according to the Bible. So it says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. And who's the least? Iran. Iran is the least of the flock, meaning the lesser of the bigger nations and also lesser in power structure. But it should draw out what? Draw out the other nations to the battle. And look, it says, surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. And I was talking about Israel. The Israeli forces is going to drag America into this army like they're doing now. Okay, because the Prime Minister of Benjamin Netanyahu has been talking about taking Iran down from its power structure for the longest, but because they feared that Iran was establishing a weapons force that cannot be overthrown, and they wanted to hinder that. So what they do, they go in and attack this man, okay, Iran's leader at the time. So they're gonna draw him out, which they're causing all nations to draw him out. This is already Iran has threatened revenge. World leaders have expressed alarm, and Secretary of State Mike Pompeo has been working with the State Department phone lines to reassure and rally unnerved American allies. Soleimani led Iran's elite military force and was the country's second most influential figure. So what does that mean? The fact that they took out this the head of the military force. Okay, that was declared. That was a declaration of war. Okay, when they dropped air forces airstrikes killing them. Okay, that was war against Iran. You see, and which was leading up to our third war. Let me see. Okay, let me see. Is that okay? It was another one I'm looking for, but I can't really find it right now. Uh, Pretty much the means God can make the sand of the sea. Okay, let me see this one. Revelations. Okay, no, that's not it. Uh, so that's what's going to draw all nations to fight. So it says, the entire world would need to be on high alert for months or more likely years, said John Alterman, Senior Vice President of the Center of Strategic and International Studies and the expert on global security. Iran will respond by forcing itself to the forefront of U.S. foreign policy consideration for years to come and drawing the United States into precisely the short of shadowy battles the Pentagon has been trying to escape for more than a decade. Waterman said in CSIS in the last post Friday. We're going to get a little bit more. I want to have peace. How Trump went from a vow to avoid conflict to an order to kill Iran general. Okay, which is a heavy prophecy. Okay, it says Pompeo insisted the U.S. airstrike would make Americans suffer, reduce Iran's influence across the Middle East, and lessen tensions. But see, that's the pride of Esau. Feeling like they can control battlefield. Feeling like they that's the pride. That's the pride of Esau. It says, but that view was not widely shared as policymakers in the U.S. and across the world came to grips with the Trump administration's surprise decision to launch the strike, which killed Soleimani on Iraqi soil. The attack came after months-long tit-for-tat escalation between the U.S. and Iran, with the latest episode unfolding earlier this week at the U.S. embassy in Baghdad when pro-Iranian protesters stormed the compound. You see? Now, despite President Donald Trump's promise to pull back from far-flung military engagement, he has ordered another 3,000 American soldiers to the Middle East. Many fear they will be drawn further into a costly and hard-to-win conflict across the region. I fear we lit a fire without an extinguisher on hand, said Benjamin Freeman, Policy Director for Defense Priorities, which advocates restraint in the U.S. military. I read a little bit more. Whether Thursday's attack will lead to a full-blown war by Iran or a shadow conflict waged by Iran's proxy forces is not clear. Trump talks about ending the endless wars and leaving the Middle East. In reality, he may have just started another endless and unwinnable war and ensured that America will remain trapped in the Middle East for decades to come, said Shrita Parsi, an Iran specialist executive vice president of the Quincy Institute for Responsible Statecraft, which advocates diplomacy over military engagement. Okay, well, Parsi said proxy forces Salamina nurture interlethal militias from Syria to Iraq may pose the biggest risk for the U.S. For the U.S., those groups aren't always under Tehran's direct control. So even if both Washington and Tehran seek de-escalation, they may not be able to ensure the others don't add fuel to the fire, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So um, this is Salakia. Let me see. This is Jeremiah 50, verse 45. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of the Lord that he had taken against Babylon, and his purposes that he had proposed against the land of Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock should draw them out. Surely he shall make the habitation desolate with them. At the noise of taking of Babylon, the earth is moved and the cry is heard amongst the nation, and that's the nuclear war. That's World War III that we're speedily heading into. So that I want to give all praise to Yahweh, Bashim, Shah, Bashim, Chakadas, the bonds and the elders, Shalom, until next time.